Thanks. Thank you. So, as you know, today I would like to present you the PMI view, what is for us the meaning of the new technologies and how actually the new connected technology help us to bring all our drivers on a safer manner and as well to improve the efficiency of our fleet. So, few words about Philip Morris Internationals. We are leading international tobacco company, but apart of that, we are truly committed to sustainability and the designing of a smoke-free future. And if we talk about our ID in terms of the fleet safety, for me as a globally responsible for market and fleet safety, I'm in charge for fleet safety of these around 23,000 vehicle in our global fleet around all the continents. And the one of the split is that out of this number of the cars, 80% are sitting in the working tool category, and the rest, like 20%, are the benefit cars. Other structure is that 80% are passenger cars, and each 10% are with light commercial vehicles and the trucks. Regional distribution, you can see that it's just to set my that in Asia in total we have almost 50% of our fleet, 46 actually, 14 in Latin America, 22 in EU, Eastern Europe 12, and Middle East Africa is the 6%. So when we talk about transformation, I said that we are committed to the smoke-free future and smoke-free world. We are transforming really a lot as a company, and we are committed to increase the emphasis and accelerate all the actions related to sustainability. And mainly, when we talk about today, I will mention what we are doing in the fleet. And this is really the priority shared across the organization. We like to present this always like this for us famous equilibrium. In Philip Morris, we are never betting on one thing, and we think that between the technology, behaviors, and the policy, we need to find the proper balance. It's not enough just to have supreme technology behind safe vehicles. If you are not working enough to develop the proper behaviors, safe behaviors of your driver, probably technology will not be just sufficient. And as well, for both of the elements, you need to support this from the very top through the strong policy and the standards that supporting both elements. Saying that, today I will mention three of the main pillars. Definitely one that it's the topic of this presentation, how the new connected technology working for safer and more efficient fleet, but as well, because this is not something that is standalone discussion, what we are doing regarding the training of our guys, and I will mention just one out of this whole training matrix, e-learning beyond program. Finally, it's a new global vehicle P&P principles and practices that are inside have embedded our new company fleet safety policy, supporting everything that we are discussing today. So let's start with this. Some of people I heard say that the policies and the standards are the roof and supreme. For us, this is really basic, and we are starting with this. So I will tell you what are the three guiding principles for our journey for that change. First, we implement this sustainable fleet management model with three main, let's say, principles. First is to contribute to environmental targets and carbon neutrality. We have our targets and commitment that toward 2030 we will be carbon neutral regarding our fleet. So carbon neutrality till 2030. Also to improve employees' safety, all avoidable traffic incidents to be on the zero level, comfort and keep the overall experience, and also to keep this and while we are reducing the TCO. The three main pillars are there, and how they are embedded in the overall standards and the policies. This is our alignment model. The sponsor of the whole story is Senior Vice President of Operations, and we have our regional teams, local affiliates, the key stakeholders from other functions like HR or PNC, sustainability, my function, finance, everybody in this whole story. The global PNP, as I said, is supported by our new, and this is something that we launched as of this year, PMI fleet safety policy signed by our sponsor and the Senior Vice President for Operations and deployed across the whole Philip Morris organization. Of course, it's a lot of things there. I would like to emphasize few. For us, really, the safety of our guys is paramount, and not only our employees, but as well everybody who can be affected by our company business. This is why we said that company goal is to achieve zero preventable fleet safety accident and to protect employees, any other road users, but as well other things like company assets, reputation, and definitely environment. So with this commitment, PMI senior management is fully committed to minimize the risk of injury and death resulting from the traffic incident and minimize the impact of environmental pollution. In some of the key pillars there, we have different things supporting this, but one that we are talking today is actually the fleet safety telematics technology, which is one of the key elements for our strategy and as well of absolutely to be aligned with data privacy protection. So the next pillar is what I said, it's that we would like to provide best-in-class capability building for our drivers. And we are doing this in the last 8 to 10 years through different e-learnings and behind-the-wheel programs. But what is different as of this year? With our providers, we will, as of this year, a part of this hazard perception evaluation and the programs that are, let's say, more or less known for the e-learnings, that after this HPE, they also include artificial intelligence and do the core science behind. Based on that, provide the needed and a personalized training for our driver. We go a step further, and this is why we call this beyond, that actually we add the inputs from the telematics that now all our drivers are part of this theoretical and the HPE evaluation. We will have the driver risk rating based on this data. So not only one, but two inputs plus the things that are related to the eco driving. All this is supported by Power BI performance follow-up that actually you can see and measure your progress. Our statement is that the famous one, only things that we are measured we can improve. So you need to follow up and see out of all these elements that we can read from the telematics how to improve. This is not just about the data, but really to use this as a useful information. And now I'm jumping to the main topic for today. Currently, we are on the journey to, as I said, to increase even very, very solid numbers regarding the fleet safety and to increase the number of vehicle equipped with the telematics. At the moment, you can see here, out of 23,000 vehicles, we have something like 35% cover overall, and on 28 markets out of 84 markets that we have present our vehicles. Nevertheless, our goal is that by end of 2023, we have 70% of our total fleet, actually the full working tool cars, without accepting the motorbikes, would be equipped with standardized telematic solution. Saying standardized, now with this 35%, we have, I don't know, maybe 20 or 23 different providers of telematics service. Our aim, and this is the process that it's in front of us, to standardize and to minimize the number, ideally go to one or two global telematics provider. This is the project for this year. So based on this 35 already implemented percent in the vehicle, what we know as a really tangible telematics benefits. We decrease collision and the road fatalities up to 40% overall. Fuel reduction, I put here 7+2 because depends on the type of device we can improve idling time or not, but it's something like in total 9%, and follow this by CO2 reduction. Also, we were able to optimize the routes of our sales force guys, and to classify driver as per their driver risk. Upon that, because the whole story about the telematics is actually anticipate the risk and learn something from that. The big brother is really not the option. So we are using all these inputs for the discussion and the commentary drive. That is also one of the one part of the program for fleet safety management activities, and put a lot of efforts to develop leading safety indicators, not the lagging, not just counting number of collisions, injuries, fatalities, but really discuss about something what we are doing to prevent this to happen at all. Definitely, we go with the maintenance cost decrease. The percentage really vary from country to country and the different type of the vehicles, but it's also something that is quite tangible. On another side, we also have intangible and the compliance telematics benefits. Definitely, the company images reputation is one of them. But as well, with these factual things, we improve our fleet safety communication between the driver and direct supervisor. It's not based anymore or something which is subjective or the opinion or the feeling of your supervisor. No, we are discussing really through the numbers and the real risk behind. As well, in the security challenging area, like something in the Middle East or some of the Latin America countries, or in Africa, the driver security is also very well supported with the telematics implementation. I already said that one of the main goals is actually to unify the whole system. For us in Philip Morris, the difference between the guys that are performing and not performing is not how we punish the one that are actually not performing, not at all. We are really investing a lot in the fleet safety recognition programs, and with the telematics data, we can really enrich the whole program. Any kind of incident investigation is, again, like with the black box from the planes. You can really read and understand the full, let's say, situation happened before just some incident. And the final three are actually our internal things that we need to be compliant with our global EHSS standards, which required all these sustainability goals, what I mentioned, for minimizing the impact on environmental pollution and to increase the safety of all employees, and definitely the one that I mentioned previously with PMI fleet safety policy. What we learned from in this period of implementation, of course, it's not always going smooth. We have some obstacles, and as well some very well learning that I would like to share with you. When we talk about the category of vehicles that we covered, mostly in all the countries that we do the survey, it was working tool cars. 92% of all the vehicles that are covered with the telematics are working tool cars. And you see benefit cars are less. Other vehicles like trucks and other vehicles is just 15%. We asked what was the main trigger for the implementation, and you see the safety really it's on the top with 95% as a main pusher. The vehicle tracking is 72%, the fuel monitoring and the CO2 consumption is 68%, security 58%, and the overall vehicle utilization optimization is around 32%. What was the channels and how we actually implement the telematics in the current, as I said, something like 35% of the countries is selecting supplier through the tender, more or less 75%, organizing a pilot a little bit more than 50%, through the consultancies 45%, leasing company 38%, and some other ways 11%. After the implementation, because in the different countries we have the different period of implementation from just 1 year to 5 or 6 years in some advanced countries. What we gain actually that we decrease the we noticed that fewer traffic incidents are noticeable in the 95% of the market, so almost everywhere. In 70% of the markets, they noticed lower fuel consumption, something that is noticeable. And predictive maintenance is also improved in the 55% of the countries. Better vehicle occupancy and the planning is 35%. But again, it was also not one of the main triggers for the implementation. So on the data access rights, this is really something that it's very sensitive and more and more important. So we see who are the people that can have and need to have the data access rights, and we talk about our team, not only on the global but as well on the market level, security and market safety team. Then the guys that are in charge for the coordination and administration of the car fleet on the markets. And actually, that's it. Talking about really access to the raw data. Other things like reports, of course, are accessible to the supervisors and the area owners, area managers. What we actually follow at the moment with what kind of parameters we monitor by telematics system is geolocation, overspeeding, the mileage for sure, and the elements of G-force and actually what is the driving style of our drivers, harsh acceleration, braking, and the steering. So this, of course, because I said it's very different types of the current telematics providers, we can add or take it out. Some of these depends on the markets, but aim of this new project is to standardize and to have actually fully standardized approach. I said at the beginning, it's not always going very smooth. Any change naturally creates some resistance. So the obstacles that we noticed are that the data analysis, particularly in the first couple of months, it was something like 32%. In the areas that we go with device installation, because again, some of the solutions are with device, some are just with the app. Device installation we had with 31% like obstacle, data collection 28%, privacy regulation 27%. ROI, it's really just 10%. And work council concerns or the trade unions discussions, just 10%. And I would be super happy that this is something that is that will stay on this 10%, the last obstacle. But actually, all these 35% of the current countries that implement are easygoing. So the ones that still we need to implement, we will have probably more discussion and more concerns and explanation regarding the this privacy data protection with the work councils and the trade unions. So this 10% is something that I expect, and we are prepared for that. That will be on the higher level. So finally, what is our plan to standardize this and how to lead the future project is actually this global implementation. We are now in the phase that after this plan and the bidding, we'll start with the selection of some of the offers. The previous, let's say, investigation period and the pilot is in overall 3 to 6 months preparation and some tests and the pilots. And after that, we are going in the period till, as of now, till next summer, so not 2021, but till 2022, to go with this global deployment and the rollout of the new global telematics solution. For the company, for the markets that already have some solution implemented, we will of course wait for the end of the contract, and then they will just switch on the new one. And for the one that are currently without, we are starting as of July, August this year with implementation this and implement in the next 12 months. So all in all, and as well respecting the time and leave some space for the questions potentially. For us, the telematics and the new technologies in general, connected technologies, are not the question of are we doing or not, just when and how quick we will be ready to implement, considering that we really work on all different geographies, and it's not always easy. Saying about the Holland, Italy, and Germany, yeah, it's easy there in terms of the support, but some other challenging area, we will really need to invest much more effort to this. But for us, this is the journey. And as I said, till 2020, end of 2024, 2023, we plan to have the full working tool car fleet covered with the telematics. That's pretty everything from my side, Steven.
Thank you.
I don't know, do I need to step out now from the full screen or what?
No. You can stay. We have a few minutes left to ask you some questions. Thank you very much, Nikola. First question. Did you select one provider globally, or does this differ by country?
At the moment, as I said, it's big number, more than 20 across the different countries. But with the new project that we are now starting, idea is to go with one or let's say two, because it's very hard. We have some options that could cover this, but depends on the geographies. So idea is that when we have the global project, we go with minimum one or two on the global level.
Mm-hmm. Is it then also the purpose that for the countries where you already have telematics, that they don't need to switch later on the telematics device, but that it can be, let's say, integrated and making compatible with the global supplier capabilities?
This is the next phase. Definitely, we would need to standardize. If it's possible that technically we can link it and just embed in the global, we will do like that. It's easier. But if not, then upon the expiration of the current contract, we will switch. Actually, they will switch to the new supplier.
Okay. Have you had references from your industry who have helped you realize how to standardize things?
Look, yes, and not only from the industries in generally, FMCG, it's there, but again, the specificities of the tobacco industries and the challenges that we have because of direct communication with the end consumers. We cannot advertise our product, cannot do like some other FMCG companies, giving additional complexity on the whole story. But definitely, yes, we have also heard some other experience. And for sure, in the period of the first 12 months, we will have our own through this pilot program, and then understand actually what is the best solution for us. Also asking for consultancy. We know that we are the best in producing and selling cigarettes, and the things that we are not the full experts, for sure we are asking for support.
Okay. Final question. You will have good behavior and bad behavior. You were saying that you are not really applying specific actions for good and bad. Does this mean that you are not using the so-called carrot and stick approach?
No, of course we do. So we have the in our programs and the policies defined what are the violations and what could be the potential disciplinary measures. The stick, unfortunately, need to exist. But what I said, that telematics supporting us much more in the fleet safety recognition program, that we are really putting more efforts to recognize the good behaviors rather than to stay focused on the one that are not behaving properly, motivating the good behavior. And of course, if repetitive guys that are just neglecting the practice or ignoring the advices, the answer is obvious.
Okay.
We need to address this one.
Okay, that's clear. Thank you very much. Thank you, Nikola. Unfortunately, we need to close this session. Thank you for the presentation and for the answers.